What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, making the announcement that Valdez versus Stevenson is on. They will collide in a unification bout at 130 pounds super featherweight to determine the #1 super featherweight in the world. That fight's taking place Saturday, April 30th on ESPN. And I'm super excited about this fight. It's going to be a good one. You know, these two guys, really for a couple years have been, Stevenson's been wanting to fight Valdez for 3 years now. Valdez ran from Stevenson at 126 featherweight and moved up to super featherweight, and Stevenson ended up moving up to super featherweight as well. And then last year, both of them broke out and took over the super featherweight division. Oscar Valdez started off with Tank Davis officially announcing he was moving to 135. So that left Miguel Berchelt mainly as the top guy, which he had been for the last 4 years, for the most part, at 135. And that forced, he ended up fighting Valdez, Berchelt did, and Valdez kicked the shit out of Miguel Berchelt. He did. He absolutely broke him down and knocked him out in a big upset and captured the WBC title. And then Stevenson took on Jamel Herring, who was really, after beating Carl Frampton, was really like number 2 or 3 in the division. And Stevenson beat the shit out of Jamel Herring. I mean, absolutely dominated him, scoring a 10th round TKO. So they both got their career best wins, and both became the world champions, and they became numbers 1 and 2 respectively. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, they are numbers 1 and 2 at 130 pounds. And Valdez, he had in my opinion, he really had no choice but to fight Shakur Stevenson, because Stevenson, first off, Valdez opened his big mouth after he beat Berchelt and said he wanted to fight Stevenson. And then after he got by Conceição in September, he said he wanted the winner of Stevenson and Herring. So he'd been calling them out a couple times, so he really had no choice, because, to be honest, there's really no other option anyways at 130 pounds for Valdez to fight. So he's kind of forced into this fight, and also he opened his mouth and called out the winner, and really he had no choice. So, but for Valdez, if you're ever gonna take on a guy like Stevenson, you might as well take him on when you're coming off of your career best win a year prior, and you knocked off the top guy in the division. So Valdez believes that he has something for Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson's ready to go. This is the fight he's been waiting for, he's been wanting, and I'm really excited about it. I really am. Not just because of how I believe the fight's gonna go, but you really have the top 2 guys unifying belts. I mean, if you really look at the grand scheme of all the divisions, let's start, the divisions that I cover, 122 and up. How many unified champions we have in the divisions now? 122 has 2 unified champions, Marajan Akhmadaliev and Stephen Fulton Jr., 2 unified champions. 126, there's no unified champs right now. Maybe we're on the way by the end of the year to find one. That'd be great. But as of right now, there's no unified champs. 130, these guys are unifying belts between Stevenson and Valdez. So that's 2. 135, you got George Kambosos, holds 3.5 of the 4 world titles. So we have a unified champion there. That's 3 divisions. 140, Josh Taylor's the undisputed champion. He's unified all the belts. That's 4. 147, you got Errol Spence holds 2 of the belts. He's a unified champ, and he's attempting to unify again against your Dennis Ugas next. So that is 5 of the first 6 divisions. 154, Jermell Charlo is the unified champion as of right now, and is going to try to become undisputed in his rematch against Brian Castano. And that's likely going to happen in April or May now because Castano's injury. So that's 6 divisions. 160, middleweight. no unified champion right now, but Triple G is about to fight Ryota Murata as part of the Canelo deal to unify 2 of the 4 middleweight titles. That's 7 divisions out of 8. Canelo is the undisputed champion at 168. He holds all 4 belts. That's 8 divisions out of 9. 175. Arthur Beterbiev is currently the unified WBC and IBF champion. And now he's going to attempt in June against Joe Smith Jr. He's going to attempt to win, to add the WBO title to his thing. They're unifying belts again. That's 9 out of 10 divisions. Then at 200, right now there's no unified champion at cruiserweight, but Lawrence Okoli is trying to work out a deal to fight Maris Brightus in the second half of the year, or possibly the WBA champion, or Alunga Makabu might have the option since Makabu has fallen out of the Canelo sweepstakes. I think by the end of the year we're going to have a unified champion at cruiserweight. So right now we don't, but there's talks of it. There's nothing locked in though. And then heavyweight, you already have a unified champion, Alexander Usyk, and we possibly are going to see an undisputed. So every division is rallying to unify belts outside of like 1 or 2. Right now, there's no clear direction for 126 in unifying belts featherweight, and 200 doesn't have a clear direction either. But outside of those 2 divisions, all other 10 divisions are either guys are already unified and they're trying to unify more, or they're going to unify like Stevenson and Valdez, and it's just an exciting time. And again, it's not just unifying with this matchup, it's the battle of the number 1 and 2. I mean, at 130, it's huge right here, and it's the perfect time to make the fight. So I can't wait. The WBC, the WBO Super Featherweight titles are going on the line Saturday, April 30th on ESPN. Oscar Valdez, the undefeated WBC champion, my current number 1 Super Featherweight, is battling Shakur Stevenson, undefeated WBO champion, my current number 2 at 130 pounds Super Featherweight. It's going to be big. Make sure you check that fight out. And that's it. That's the Valdez versus Stevenson Is On video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.